I am 3 students. We're going to be finishing up this unit with a pretty short video. This isn't going to take a lot of time. I am going to work it 3 different ways for students that are at home here. Make sure that you have your calculator with you. You'll have your TI-80. Some of you have the Inspire. Go ahead and make Go ahead and make a graphing calculator page if you're using the Inspire. And then if you're using Desmos, go ahead and have that up. We're going to work, we'll work one question 3 different ways here. Actually, we'll work probably 2 different questions because we'll show the 2 types that you're going to see in here. So the last topic that we're working with is function equality graphically. And we've been doing this all year. It's this f of x equals g of x. It's actually one of our essential standards. Let me start with this example here. So in your notes, draw a line and put function equality graphically, and go ahead and write find all solutions where f of x equals g of x to the nearest hundredth, and then you can write these down. Okay. Let's go ahead and work this. If you need to go back and pause so you can write it, that's fine. But I'm not going to pause the video. We're going to try to keep this brief today. So we want to graph these 2 equations. So I'm going to I'll start with the 80 series, and then we'll do it on the Inspire, then we'll do it on Desmos, okay? So I hit y equals, and I'm going to graph this, -8. I hit natural log. You could put log base e if you want to, but I mean, we have the natural log button. Let's just use it. And then x goes in here. Then we're going to go down and we're going to plot the line 7. All right, we're going to graph these. And okay, there it is right there. It should fit on everybody's screen just fine. So we have this, and what we're interested in for the answer, and as we've seen these types of questions go, is we just want the x values where they intersect. So for those using the 80 series, we need to find the intersection. We've done this before. Hopefully you remember you have to do second calc. And you want to go down to the intersect button, hit enter, and if you move the arrow keys around or up and down, mine it changes from red to blue. So the first curve is going to be the blue line, and you'll see that it's on there if I go left to right. Okay, so the blue line is the first curve, then the red line is the second curve. I hit enter, and we're going to guess where the intersection is. So I'm going to go back over. It's about right there. I'm going to hit enter, and it should give me the intersection here, 0.4168. We'll round that to the nearest hundredth. 0.42 is what we should be looking for. But let's go ahead and look at this on the Inspire. I have to graph 2 equations. So how you graph 2 equations, we're going to do -8. We want ln, which is right here, control e to the x, x. Then we're going to go down, so it automatically graphs that. We're going to go down and we're going to type 7 in. So here's the problem with the Inspire that the 80 series doesn't have to deal with. This one goes from 10 to -10. You'll notice our scale on the Inspire is 6.67. So we actually need to change our window, or actually we're just going to zoom out. So we hit menu and we go to window zoom and zoom out, and you can just click in the center and it's going to find it for you, okay? Once you're done with zooming out, just hit escape. And now we need to find the intersection. So this is how we do it on the Inspire. You press menu, analyze graph, intersection. We've done this before. You'll use the touchpad, this little touchpad right here, to move the mouse around. And you want to go to the left of it, hit enter. Then you go to the right of it and hit enter. And you'll notice that this should be this is very close to being the same as this one here. I think, yeah, that should be fine there for these. Okay, so we have that one. That's how you do it on the Inspire. Lastly, let's look at Desmos. I'm going to graph this. It's -8. I think if you just type ln, it knows it's a natural log x. Next line, we just want 7. Now, you'll notice it doesn't know what to do with the 7, so you actually have to type in y equals 7. I actually did do it and we just couldn't see it. If I zoom out, yeah, it's not there. We have to hit y equals 7. There it is. So once you've typed that in, you can just click. There's the intersection. If for some reason, some of these problems, there's difficulty rounding, if you need more decimal points, you just have to zoom in. Okay, you can hit the zoom button here and go to the intersection and click it, and it shows that. So we want 0.42 for this problem. All right, we got it correct. So you're just looking for that intersection point, and you only want the x value. That's the solution for when these are equal. So on your next test, which is we've said is going to be the 21st, you're going to want to make sure that you're doing that. Okay. Let's find one more example. We'll do this one here. This is an exponential. So let's go ahead and write example 2 and write out these equations here. F of x equals 0.6 to the 0.2x minus 5, and that's equal to 17. Or a g of x equals 17. So we are going to have to do some zooming out for this, by the way. Let's go ahead and go back to y equals, and let's change these. I'm going to clear this one. We want 0.6. We're going to raise that to the 0.2x. Go over minus 5. So there's that one. This one is 17. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and graph. So we're going to see this equation here, but we aren't going to see the g of x. It's not going to show up on the screen. So we need to go to zoom. We go to number 3 here. We're going to zoom out. We're just going to hit enter, and it's got to regraph it. Hopefully this will zoom out far enough to where we'll get the other line and we can see the intersection point. There it is. Okay, so we can see where they intersect. We got to do second calc. We want intersect. This is the first curve, the blue line. That's the second curve. And then we want to, looks like it's going to take it a bit. We got to push over to the left to get our guess of that intersection. About right there, hit enter. So there's where it's saying negative 30 this is to the intersection 30.26. Okay, let's see what happens on the Inspire. We can just, if you want to regraph on this graph, you can, or sometimes students like to just start over. I'm just going to start over, new document, and I'm just going to start a new graph. We'll type this in 0.6, raise it to the 0.2x, go back down. We want minus 5. We're going to press down and then do the 17. Enter. Now again, we can't see it, so we're going to have to zoom out. And you'll use your scroll pad here to go to the center, click the bottom. We can't see it yet. We can move other parts of this to zoom out. So I moved over here. Now we see it. Put away the zoom out button, so you hit escape. Now menu, analyze graph, intersection. Remember, you go to the left and then to the right. And you'll notice that we're not getting to 100th place here. So let's talk about how you could make that float more decimals. So this is what you want to do. If you want it to show more decimals, which it looks like we're going to need that on this problem because we have to round to the nearest 100th. So that's 2 places. On the Inspire, we press menu, settings. Right here, display digits. We want to float. Let's do 5 or 6. I'll do 5. Now we go back in again and we find that intersection, left, right, and it's going to float more values there for us. And you'll notice we're getting the same thing as the 80 series, negative 30.255. So that's a good sign. Lastly, we're going to use Desmos. So I'm going to rewrite this as 0.6 to the 0.2x, and then what is that? Minus 5. Okay, so we've got that. And then we want this to be 17. Yep. So that's graph now. Now we can't see it. If we hit the home button, it'll take us back to like where we started, which is good. Then we can zoom out, scroll over real easy, and we just click and get the intersection. And if we want more points, more decimal points, we just have to zoom in more. I don't know if it's going to do it. I guess it's not giving us any more. It's not. That's fine. We didn't need it anyway. This is what we need. So let's go back. We want negative 30.26 on this one. Submit. That's all we need to do on these. So this is lesson in 10 minutes here. I don't think it should take you much time at all to get these done. There's not a lot of problems. There's not really much new that you're learning here because we've already done this. It's just we're now using logarithms and exponentials for it. All right.